Hi guys, my name is Meads, and this is going to be an update about my channel and my toy collecting, as well as trying out other mall kits. So I got a couple of things in front of us, and first off, I got the SH Monster Evolution set. Here's the aggregate, and really great figure. I have to thank a good friend of mine, Kane. He went to San Diego Comic Con. Sadly, I wasn't able to, but he's kind enough to grab me this Evolution set. And really great, and thank you very much. Right next to him, we got Frieza from the SH Figure Arts line. Got him from Tatsu Hobby. Finally met up with Alex, and they finally got their shipment last week. Really happy about it. I'm gonna do a review on that one eventually, maybe later on. But a really nice figure. Actually, quite amazed at the details, and you all get that rock base. Really nice. On the side here, we got the frame arms. This is Rapier Zephyr. Really great. Another small kit line that I really liked. Now, the frame arms line it doesn't get much attention. It's really nice line. You get that inner frame. Pretty much that's kind of like their selling point. You get one frame that you can build on. Get different armor sets, and it's also the Kotobukiya MSG weapon sets. Works well. They work well. They made them for this, aside from other Kotobukiya kits out there. And actually, I think they also have add-on weapon sets for specific ones, but you can still use them for other frame arms. So for this one, there is a red version of this one, and it actually looks like I'm thinking this is a female robot. It's kind of nice building those. It's a little different. And I think the red version of it has a rifle. So I'm really glad that I got this. The only thing is, if you are jumping to the model kit line of frame arms, it does need a little bit of glue or hobby cement or plastic cement, because for some weird reason they decide to put the peg where the two plastic meets, or the peg hole where the two plastic meets. So when you peg in something over time, that two parts separate. And the inner frame is already pre-assembled, but same thing. It's just best to just glue things together. And just a heads up, if you are starting this, you might need to have a little bit of super glue or hobby cement, whichever works for you. So that's that. Otherwise, I did also get Optimus Prime from the Beast Hunters. That's his upgraded version. I actually recently finished watching the series, and I was a little sad that they ended quite early. But nonetheless, I'm really happy, and I do collect some of the Transformer figures. I'm not a big Transformer fan, or I collect or buy a lot of them. I just select few that I really like. In particular, I got this one, and I have to thank my good friend Vector. He got this from his local Toys R Us. Sadly, there's no Toys R Us nearby my area. I have to, well, other than driving down to his city and checking out his Toys R Us. I think the closest one was a Toys R Us Express, and that's pretty much all the stuff that didn't get sold goes there. And actually, I think the only things they have are deluxe or those really small ones, which I'm not too fond of. I really like Voyager. I think that's the line that I go for in terms of Transformers. And yeah, I'm really glad that he's able to help me out. Although there are targets here, but I think he got this on a sale also. That's great. I think he got the Ultra Magnus, so I got this one. So that's great. I really liked it. And the only thing that I wish they had comes to the blaster, the Gatling gun that he has in the show. Fortunately enough for me, I made one out of Lego, as you can see here. I actually made it for my Leader Class Ironhide a while back. It so happens that it kind of works out for this. So I'm really happy that I got something, and really like this figure. It's very articulate, got all the points, especially the leg swivel. Really nice, very articulate. So that's that for the things I have in front of us. Do have a couple of other things that I want to do a review on. Eventually, I will get to those. But I want to talk about toy collecting I have so far. So the second part is pretty much my toy collecting. And as many of you know that I do collect a lot of figure lines and a lot of mold kit lines as well. And you get to the point where you kind of question, where do I get the money? Where do I get the space? That's a good question. Fortunately enough for me, I do have a job, a good paying one. And for the most part, everything works out well for me at the moment financially. I'm able to save. I'm able to help out my parents, as well as um, it's kind of like a mutual thing. I help out my parents. I get to stay at home, for a lot less than actually having my own place at the time being, and also being able to save a lot. That's one of the biggest things. I'm gonna save as much as I can now before moving out. And another thing is I have a big room, which really helps a lot to store my stuff. The one thing about the figure collecting is you gotta save the box. And that's, I mean, if I ever want to resell them again, and you get to the point that it takes up so much space. I mean, I have a lot of figures. I do put the accessories on a Ziploc bag. I just wish the packaging is not much of an issue in terms of storage, and you can just pack them away on a box, like one box just full of Transformer, one box just full of figure arts. I kind of just go through them when you're displaying, but on top of that, I gotta save the box just in case I need to sell them. So that's that. But other than that, so far, I know how much I still have space. I do need to sell a couple of things just to make room for new ones, and I just need to spend a day just to do that. Just go through my collection, and I need to let go of certain lines. But till then, I'm enjoying it, and again, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do toy collecting. It's a very expensive, very space-consuming hobby, but very rewarding as well. And being able to enjoy all this is pretty much a dream come true for me. And I'm not sure if I already told you this story, but it was my dream 3 years ago, just before I started buying figures. Before, I'm in a really tight budget. I can only afford the Super Deform and a select few high grades. That was me back then. I think at one point, I think my lowest point was I got out of college without a job, and I only have $100 to spend. It was on my savings, just $100, and I'm trying to not spend it all. And I'm hoping that one day I get a good paying job and continue the hobby. And that was 3 to 4 years ago, and I didn't really expect to get this far now, where I got a room full of toys, kind of like a shop. It is a dream come true, and I'm very fortunate that I'm able to make that dream, happen. And that works out because I was really lucky. I managed to get a job, and it's just something that I want to share to all my viewers out there. Make sure you study hard, and sometimes tough times comes in, and don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to help you out and kind of guide you, especially when you're just graduated or you're looking for jobs. Ask your family and friends. It's aside from just getting your resumes out there, but sometimes people might know someone to get you in, and that helps a lot. Networking. So that's how I get my new job. Well, not new anymore, but that's my recent job right now is through, my uncle. He told me to take this test. I passed, and that kind of went and followed through, and as well as getting the other job experience I have is thanks to my family and friends helping me out, getting those. So just my little advice to you guys out there. And toy collecting, and sometimes I feel bad that actually I was talking to someone lately, and I was talking about passionately about figure collecting, and he said, "Well, to make it simple, he's in a limited budget." And I was asking him, or asked him actually, "Are you still a student?" Because usually students have a limited budget. And he said he's working, and sometimes I kind of forget how certain people have budget or actually paying for their own amenities and house. That I kind of overlook that how lucky I am that I'm still able. I have a lot more buffer on my in terms of my what do I call this my toy budget. So if some of the time I need to kind of lighten up on buying stuff or tune. You know, I guess it goes to the part where it's just it's only human to try to be better, and you get to the point when you have the money that you try to outdo other people in terms of collecting, or you try to collect the whole figure line, which in some cases I have, and I guess it's like trying to you become too proud of your collection. Not that it's a bad thing, but sometimes I have to tell myself that not everyone is like me, fortunate to get buy a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons on that. I still think people out there that if your collection is small and if you don't have much in terms of mold kits, you only have a few. Don't think that it's a bad thing. I actually envy those people because the less you have, the more you want, and the more you want, it kind of gives you the ability, or kind of gives you keeps you in the game. You want more, in the enthusiasm of wanting more. And for me, I get burned out already. I'm able to buy the mold kits I want, but after a while, like I already have it, and it's just a matter of time of building it. But I got I got a bunch of them, and I just I don't have the want anymore since I already have them. And there's also the same thing goes with figures that after a while I get a bunch of I don't really get to enjoy them. I don't play with them as much, just display them. I do play with them some time to time where I kind of combine from different figures, have a really nice action pose. And but the thing is I don't give attention to them as much as I have if I have just a select few I have in my collection. So I don't know if that's gonna give you a perspective that wherever you are in the toy collecting, consider yourself very lucky that you've started this, and it's a very good experience. And hopefully that you're able to continue it, even though if you're able to buy a figure a month, or being able to buy a couple of. The best thing about this is being able to share it with your friends, and if you have a family that does toy collecting, it's great. And just expand on the toy sharing thing. I really think that people should share their toys and figures. And just getting back, I talked about this before. Again, it's really great that if you're able to find a local toy collecting club, I really think that's a great thing. And if you think about it, again, it will be nice if one guy collects a certain figure line and another does the other thing. I mean, if if I have a group right now, someone to collect all the SH figure arts, another person collect all the SH monster arts, another guy does all the Transformers, and another person probably buys Robot Tamashi, and we're all local, that'd be great. because I can just check out their figures. And sometimes it's great to check out them in person before you actually buy them. I mean, it doesn't, uh, what do you call this? It doesn't hinder, for me from buying them, but kind of gives me a good idea. Although, I mean, there's reviews out there online. It's really different from seeing them in person. And I think it will just help out the people out there who likes to collect things or just want to check them out. Like for me, I like to certain ones I just want to check out, but there are certain ones that I just want to I like to collect. But it's great that there's people, friends out there that does similar things or who likes a different set of figure lines but all together like the ones you collect also. And I'm very fortunate that I have a good friend Vector. He collects the Mega Man and what else he collects? The Power Rangers. I'm not getting those, but it's just great to see them in person. He also collects the other Transformers that I just check out. Like he has the masterpiece Soundwave. He's very lucky to get that from Toys R Us when they have it online. And I just would like to check it out. I mean, it's nice to own one, but in terms of my collection, the masterpiece doesn't really fit in. And I'm the type of a toy collector that likes to try out the unique ones. And I do hope I'm actually planning to get a couple of third party, the add-on things for Transformers. But you'll see that when I eventually get them. But again, really great if there's a group like that. But finding one is really hard. And trying to get people to join it is another. Oh well. Eventually, maybe one day, a group will arise from somewhere. But yeah, that is my little, pretty much my discussion on toy collecting. Eventually, I do need to sell them, especially when I'm running out of space, and it does become a problem. For one, I need to sell them not for profit, although some of them have risen in value, but at the most you can sell them for 80% of their value or even half, just because it's already opened. Or some of them are customized, or some of them are broken in parts. See, that's a problem there, and finding them a place to sell them. I find that swap meets are great, especially the ones in Fanime. The last one I went to, well, the first one I did, it was really successful. Planning to do that again next year, and hoping to sell a lot more. And other than that, selling stuff on eBay is a little tricky. I think last time I did it, I had a little issue with the buyer. And sometimes the buyer doesn't speak English that well or can't write a coherent email, and you're starting to think, is the guy what do you call this, scamming you or something? And you're hoping you don't, because you already sent the item. And well, fortunately enough for me, I think the issue was just that the person didn't speak English and is just using basic English, and it seems like he's just copying and pasting. And the address was the address is not searchable in Google, and that's one of the like a flag right there. Like, how come your address not show up? But it turns out that over there in the East Coast, certain parts of the city are called something else, and the area code are mashed together. It's kind of confusing, especially if the person also lives in an apartment and trying to identify which part of that is actually a street or apartment number. It goes crazy. Other than that, places to sell them. I mean, I could sell them in Craigslist, but I'm still not too sure on that one. And in terms of group, I did create the San Francisco Bay Area Gundam Club in Facebook, but it's still a small group. You're not gonna get much audience or viewers in there in terms of selling stuff. So I'm still finding a way. Maybe I just do it in swap meet. Just probably get a box and start putting stuff there that I'm willing to let go. Yeah. And anything else? I think I talked quite long, and hopefully some of you are still listening. And from time to time, it's nice to have this something that you can listen to while you're working on things. That's what I do. Sometimes people have updates, quite a long one. It's just good to listen in while you work on other things. Yep. And yeah, so again, look forward to new reviews. I might do Frieza after this one, or maybe SH Monster Arts. But yeah, again, it's been a pleasure doing toy collecting as well as building model kits. I'm very fortunate and hope that people out there have the same luck as I have. It's a really great hobby, and hopefully I can keep up with it. There's so many releases, it's hard to keep up. Alright, so if you have any comments, suggestion, or anything of that sort, leave them down below. I'll try my best to answer that for you. So until then, this is Meads. Thank you for watching or listening in.